Today's tutorial we are going to be making gift tags. These are some I prepared earlier and some have used Christmas fabric and others maps. On the back you would write the name, but these have lots of other uses. You could use them to make an advent bunting. Besides putting them on gifts at Christmas, maybe gifts at some other point of the year, and even to tie around your lavender bag. So let's get started. So we're all ready to get started. I have got some fabric and some printed papers of various types. I have got some scrap cardboard. I just recycle some cereal boxes, a pencil, scissors, ruler, sharp knife, Mod Podge, paintbrush and water, a mat or chopping board, plastic chopping board for, well, you'll see when we get going, and some eyelets and string. So what we want to do is cut out paper or whatever we decide to use and adhere it to our cereal box. Of course, depending on the paper you use, you might see the print underneath come through, but you know, it's handmade and that's the unique aspect of it. And then of course the other side is what we would write on. So first off, I'm just going to choose a piece of paper that's probably going to just fit there. And what I find the easiest to do is to put a little bit of Mod Podge on there. A bit runny. And dampen the paper down a little. Spread with my Mod Podge. And of course this is hand dyed paper, so it may run a little bit. Just find that if I put it in the bath of water first, it just helps it to dry a little bit more evenly without bubbles. Just cut that to size. Yeah. Looks a bit interesting. select those bits that I did earlier and just pat them down. Don't get any creases out. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Check our template. Oh yes, I get a couple out that way. Maybe get 3 out if I do it that way. Okay, so I'll give the piece of fabric a go. Now with the fabric, you can just place that directly onto the cardboard. Because it will soak up the Mod Podge. And if need be, we just might just add a little bit more under there. Right then, I'm just going to double check that they all are sitting reasonably flat, no air bubbles. And then we will just let them dry. Grab the ruler and the knife. And then you just keep going until you've finished all of the cutting out. Now, if you come across any paper that hasn't adhered to the cardboard underneath, then just poke your brush or get another brush, small brush, with a bit of Mod Podge and stick it in the gap. Oops. After we've cut out all our tags, just a couple of things. If there's marks on the tags, a couple of ways to remove them if they won't come off. Rubber for the pencil, you could just trim the cards up a little bit, or you could grab a bit of sandpaper and sand the edges a bit, especially if you're wanting a different vibe like vintage or rustic or whatever. The other way is to get a hacksaw blade and scrape along the edges. Now comes the fun part, putting the holes in the tag. So I've got a little punch here, a Fiskars one. You can use a hole punch, poke a hole in it with a pair of scissors. So just go through with your tags and punch some holes in them, and then once you've done that, grab, well, I like to use eyelets because it kind of gives it a bit of a vintagey look. You don't have to, of course. These eyelets I also picked up from an op shop. So people donate all sorts of things to op shops, stationery, as well as all the other usual things. So then once you have finished doing that little job, grab your twine and cut some string, fold it in half, poke the two ends through like that. And we'll do another couple. It's folded in half. Poke the string through the hole, then thread the other two ends through the loop. In half, through the hole, and there we go. you have made some gift tags for Christmas or whatever you decide to use them for. Congratulations.